Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Some places have had snow, some places have had rain. We've had tremendous wind and a little rain here in Florida, but today should be nice. Weather always makes a difference in how you're feeling inside. I want to thank everybody who's listening and watching my videos. I hope that you are gaining awareness and that your consciousness is beginning to grow and having you think about things. So what is consciousness growing? It's a change in perception. There's a book I will write, and it's all about perception. It's all about the level of awareness that you have, that you can look at an incident and see it in two ways. One of a lower frequency and one of a higher frequency. So the lower frequency is going to have you put yourself into it full stoke, human, all the emotions, all the fears, all the what ifs, and how do I do it, and who's going to help me? And you get lost in all that, not being really with what actually is happening. And it's immediate. If you're still in that place within you that is fearful, you will give the largest fear that you can muster at that moment. What is going on here? Why me? Why is this happening to me? Do I deserve this? I can go on, and you're right there with me. Now, perhaps you've worked with someone or healed within yourself enough to know, just stop when something happens. Imagine taking a few steps back and looking at it through neutral eyes. And there's our word. How do we find neutral? Neutral means not having an opinion, not having a judgment, a criticism, not having a need to put a label on it or a memory on it. That's really big because we all try to, oh, well, this happened before, and oh, this happened to that one, and this happened to that one. Well, this is your moment. You can make it whatever you want it to be. You are the creator in your life. No one else, no one from the past, no one from before. If everyone could only realize you are a beautiful spirit living in a human field of matter. And when you begin to get to where you can let that spirit tap in and become a part of you, there's a unique availability of creation that becomes yours. So when you step back and find neutral, so you can observe as if it wasn't happening to you, what would you do? There are an unspeakable amount of possibilities of what could come or what you could choose to think. And think is another powerful word, or what you could choose to do. This is where the possibilities. Do you betray yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you betray a friend? Do you blame a friend? What do you do when what's in front of you cannot handle for whatever reason? And it puts you in resistance and attack. Are you going to attack you? Are you going to attack friends? It's always easier when it's somebody else's fault. But I'm here to tell you, there's no such reality as blame. Blame means you're looking right in the mirror. And I will repeat that. Blame means that you're looking right inside the mirror. So if whatever it is so devastating that you want to start looking for who did this, or, oh, they said this, or they mustn't, and blow up an imaginary experience, the real work lies in turning around, bringing up the greatest love you can, and begin to go and embrace who you are, because she's so, or he is, so very frightened. He can't imagine not being comforted. And he looks around and there's no one to comfort him. In that moment, we forget we have guardian angels. You have your own angel. You have masters. You have many, many beings accessible to you. Mother, Father, God, come upon requesting. They didn't put you on this journey alone. They're always there. How do they see so many people? Because as they've grown and developed, they have a capacity to feel very many people and know that way over here, there's a crack in the oneness and that needs their love. So neutral is where you begin to have a knowingness. Well, if I step back, I'm going to see this truly for what it is. And maybe it's jealousy. Let's take jealousy for an example. Well, that says the path you're on hasn't really shown you much that you've allowed it in. No matter what you think in this moment, there's a great empowered light being inside you that you're not letting out, that you're not letting be empowered with its God's light. You're seeing with your eyes closed and only imagining this world in the 3 dimension. Well, the 4th dimension is activated. Many are already beginning to live in the 5th dimension. So there's a slew of possibilities that you're not even letting yourself begin to touch. So let's say it's jealousy. What is it that you want? The word want itself tells you your ego is speaking. Yes, we all have desires, but we gain the most of the experience of the journey on our path, knowing that it is automatic. Each step will move upon the next step, and whatever's meant to come to you to bring a development in your journey will appear. And if we can learn to embrace it instead of attack it, we will learn quicker, the energy will move quicker, and you will keep moving forward, taking that lesson with you to begin to open your awareness more and more and more. So, neutral. Well, instead of having that first reaction of, oh, what am I going to do? Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean. You take a breath and go, okay, Lord, show me. Help me see, what is this about? What's my lesson here? What are you and your angels and masters trying to have me perceive and shift with love about myself? It's a different world. As you work with this, insight will start to come to you. And you'll, oh, I get it. And then you begin to remember that each person has a uniqueness. There's no reason to be jealous. You are who you are, all the love there is. And I don't care how much love you think another person has. It would never work for you. As jealous of it as you want to be. Oh, they have a better gift or better this. That only keeps you separate from the capacity to totally own yours. And the only reason you have jealousy is because you're not taking the time to really discover what yours is, how it feels, what it can do, well, how far can it expand? So all that time that you spend about another and what they can do, what they do, what that draws to them, how they get there, separates you from movement forward. Hear me, because jealousy is rampant in our world, not only just in around human that are normal, in all ways, in our politics, in the highest governments, it's all jealousy. I want, that's mine, that's mine. Do you know, in the study of the soul and the path, that is an action of a toddler. That's only the 2nd level of development. wanting what they can't have, and not being capable of understanding you have all you are within you. But you must bring the attention of your love and light within that presence of that exists within your cellular structure and around it, to breathe into it and to expand it, to become more. It is you yourselves that keep yourself small. Your fear that you won't be what someone else is. And that fear prevents you from becoming the moreness that you are, the uniqueness that you are, the radiance that you are. As said before on this channel, it's about how much light you radiate. Do you know how many times a day I hear, oh man, you radiate so much light? My response, yes, I took a lot of time, a lot of development work to achieve that. And my goal was to touch the light I am. And it'll continue. It will never end. For none of us will it ever end. Healing will always exist. But yes, there does come a time when the light radiance of yourself becomes your neutral, because you have loved these places. You have not allowed yourself to be frightened by the experiences that are around you. I'll give you a good example. This happened about 26 years ago. After I traveled to Thailand, came home with Doug, I needed to get a divorce immediately. That was in my mind. So we could get married. We were the love of each other's life. So I filed papers, just like everybody does. And we're 6 weeks into it. I lived in New Jersey. We got a call from my lawyer, and he was very apologetic because I did move counties as soon as I left my home, and that he had filed my divorce papers in the wrong county. So I wasn't going to be getting a divorce on the time for the date that we had planned to be remarried. And he hung up, and we just sit. My husband was there. We just sit and looked at each other like. So we go to our altar and give it to Saint Germain. At that time, Saint Germain he's the bringer of the violet flame to remove karma for the world, instead of having to actually meet people on our earth plane and have to resolve it. So we asked for him to help us and just called the violet flame and violet flame. So within 15 minutes, I received a second call from my lawyer. And these are his words exactly. I don't really know who you are, but I spoke to the judge, and she's agreed to give you your divorce in the next few minutes if you're available. He goes, like I said, I don't know who you are, but here's what you've wished for. So I got on the phone. She verbally granted us our divorce and sent the papers to us, and all was well. Now, lesson. If we hadn't decided to take it to a higher place, instead of oh my God, what are we going to do? Blah, 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 all these plans. No, you can't go there. You must hold truth without knowing how it will happen. And that is really a huge experience for our world today. We've got to know how it happens. We got to know we made it happen. Well, hello, we live in a universe. The universe is what is overseeing us every day, and it's what is helping or allowing you to be on your own. And that's going to depend on where your heart is. Do you want to be alone, or do you want to allow what the universe has within every soul and outside of every soul is your guardian angel, perhaps many angels, masters, teachers, and you want to call to them to let them help you. Ours was a knee reaction. We knew there was nothing on a human level we could do with that. And we also knew there was no sense in crying over it. That wasn't going to change it. Getting angry wasn't going to change it. We went to our faith, gave it up, surrendered. And people will say to me, well, what is surrender? Surrender is holding your arms open and sitting so deep down into your faith of knowing God that you can give him and let him show you what's next. Well, in our case, he didn't just show us, it had action to it. We also then proceeded to go down to Florida and have our final everything done in one day. It's so funny. We watch now all these shows and all this to do about everybody having a wedding and how long it takes and and we got married in a beautiful heart-to-heart chapel. How many of you would love to have been married in a heart-to-heart chapel? It had angels all the way around. Well, it's in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, if you're looking for it. It was quite wonderful and beautiful. Things happened just like that when you don't have an attachment to what it is, where it is, how it's going to happen. So this video began at consciousness, and perhaps we'll be talking a lot in many different ways on how to develop consciousness. But this is a beginning. It's how you perceive. And as your perception conscious raises and you can see more possibility and illuminate your reactions, you are beginning to elevate your consciousness. And it comes to a point where the energy of your soul is no longer projecting itself on your life around you. Doesn't mean you stop working. It doesn't mean you stop doing your thing, but you stop without the worry. You work without the worry. You wake up in the morning without the worry. You begin to know, because of your heart energy being very deep within the heart of mother and father, that you are protected, that you are safe. And as lessons perhaps come up, you go back into that neutral, you see. And now you can begin to maybe understand where that neutral is and what it means. It brings you serenity. Take a moment. For me, I actually have a gentle light blue light that comes over me and just drenches anything with serenity. And then I know I will get through this. There are answers. Let me sit and receive them. So I share that with you. I offer that to you to have a goal. The next time, which probably won't be that long for many, something occurs, see if you can sit with it differently versus, what am I going to do? What does this mean? How do I handle it? Let the beautiful from up in the heavens, light blue light come over you. Let the serenity embrace you, come within you. Calm your heart, knowing there are answers. There's different perceptions that are there for you to see, possibilities, if you like that word better. And see what images come in your mind or words might come through the throat. Be open. This is called surrender. Surrender to it happening to be a certain way. Empowered. You're very much empowered because you are choosing to allow surrender. Doesn't mean you're becoming a victim. You're a victim when you give power to the situation and don't believe there's an answer. We're not supporting any kind of victim consciousness. Growing consciousness removes the victim. In expansion of consciousness, you are never a victim to the higher energy. You and that consciousness work together, and it knows to support the light you have from within the soul. So, still many pieces of this conversation you and I could talk to. I would love to know if these words touch anyone in their hearts. So please take a moment and write to me in the comments. Give me your questions. What are you thinking about what I've spoken? Have you found something similar on your journey? Are you still one that reaches out and has to have it your way? Are you the jealous one? Or can you see jealousy around you? No, it's a compliment. And I know you've heard that before. But until you really understand that you are the complement of God on earth, you don't get it. We are all the mirror image of our I am presence, which is the acting level of God within us. And that is such a gift that I really can't speak the words of it. So what we're going to do on this channel is continue to grow and understand these things so that we get it. Living this way is very peaceful. It's your truth. There is no other truth that I have touched, seen, and I've experienced many different ones. And someone could say to me, well, Buddhism is very peaceful. Yes, but it's not the same. Buddhism is about enlightenment. Your journey in this way is about ascension, moving out of the birth and death energy, being free, where you have choice to live in heaven or choice to stay here. But whatever it is, you will no longer be in the lower vibrational energy of human. So there it is. Our first lecture about consciousness. I hope that you have enjoyed it. Let's continue the conversation. If you have questions, write them down for me. I will come and we'll talk about them. I want to know how you're feeling. What are your challenges in the world? And I can certainly come and talk with you and help you here on this channel. Let's make it have action. I need your action to bring that to fruition. So we'll ask here and now for this action of this channel to go out and around the world and to find its way towards those who need to hear those words from me. For I'm ready. Are you ready to be free, to be all the love there is, to find happiness, and to move gently through the world? So, write your comments. Do your yes or no. Hit the subscribe button so you'll know when I have a message. Sometimes it'll go a week or so, but I have a lot of different schools going on right now, so I'm a little busy, but not too busy for you. If I see you have written, I will do my best to get back and come on for you. All right. There's more than 12 hours in a day. There's 24. That's right. All right. All my best love to you. And I hope you can let yourself feel it through this beautiful channel that becomes light. And love yourself today. Do something small. Desire, see the flower that you'd like to give yourself. Or the massage, imagine it. You'll be surprised perhaps of how real that will become. So, many blessings to each and every one of you. The heavens are coming very close and very open. You need not to ask so far-fetched into the world for things to happen. They hear you, they see you, and they want everyone to move in consciousness. So, thank you very much. Many blessings till next time.